Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be motivated by your host, Reverend John Wheeler! Now shut up! You shut up! Sit down! Shut up! Shut up!
People, Bill has suggested that I change my name to Mr. Martini. So this will soon be called the Mr. Martini Podcast, which I'm sure will get a shitload of views it doesn't deserve. Just like the I figured out that almost everyone that watches the Alchemical Cocktail Lounge thinks they're getting like cocktail tips. Because everything is fucking so, what is that, SEO, whatever. So it's like, why would you put cocktail in your name at all if this wasn't about how to make cocktails? It's like, well, what about, lounge?
Right.
You didn't come here to learn how to lounge?
We're consuming cocktails through the
Well, that's the point. It's in a bar. It's usually in one of two bars in my house. And, yeah, that's just where the name came from. Like, technically, the Alchemical Cocktail Lounge is like is the house's name. And thus, it houses the studios for both recording and podcasting and everything like that. Because they're like, oh, yeah, that guy was in that band. He was playing a show again or something. Let's look him up. And they're like, oh, he's got a podcast. And yeah, someone was like, oh, wow, this is great. It's like when I used to just sit and listen to you yell, like waiting for your shows to start or whatever. Like, yeah, you can relive that without leaving your home or your car or wherever you might listen to podcasts.
I gotta say, I do love Mr. Martini.
I do love Mr. Martini. Yeah, it's like fucking Dean Martin B-side. Like, it recorded live at the Sands Hotel and Casino before they demolished it in Las Vegas. It's like, I love Mr. Martini. And then it's like, but not in that kind of way, Like, I just love putting them in my mouth. Again, suggestive, I'm sorry.
There was a character named Martini. What was that?
I don't know.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Wait, really?
He was the bar owner.
His name was Martini?
Yeah, it was called Martini's. It's like, where's Martini's? Like when he died, when everything changed.
Oh yeah, like where's our shitty bar?
Where's Martini? Hey, I want to talk to Martini. He's like, you want a martini?
It's like, yeah, I do. And then we need to find my favorite bartender.
Right.
He made him like shit, so make me one first, and then we'll go look for him. What did happen to Mr. Martini in that movie? Was he dead, or did he just never... Was he never born? Or just the bar never happened?
He wasn't able to buy the bar because, I can't even remember the main character's name, but he worked at a bank.
He couldn't get the loan. Yeah. That fucking movie, you realize that movie's a Christmas classic because, the copyright expired and people at local stations would just play it? They're like, well, it's kind of Christmassy. It wasn't a popular movie when it came out, I guess. It became, public domain or something. It's like singing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow or whatever. Like, well, just put this on. We don't have to pay for it. We're going on Christmas break. I don't fucking care. We're just going to run... I don't even remember, too, if it was if some sort of tape looping machine or something was the precedent where it was like, oh, this will just play end over end over end while we're gone. And then it's, free, so you don't have to care. There was some big story about that because nobody was like, why is this a Christmas movie? It's, really depressing and it's stupid. And, yeah, I mean, the bar being called Martini's, it's probably they just put that in the script, unobtainium or whatever. And they're just like, it's Martini's. Yeah, it's a bar. They're like, yeah, we'll come up with a name for him later. We'll just call him Mr. Martini for now. And then they just made the movie. They're like, it's at Martini's down on Bar Street. Main character's gonna stop by and wet his whistle. It didn't bother. I wonder, the thing with Avatar always did make me wonder if, how many movies, where the action hero is just named John something, Arnold Schwarzenegger and... Bruce Willis's names are John something. And I thought it was John Doe. It's they never got around to giving him a name. They're just well, and then I don't know, Lieutenant John whatever goes into the thing to fight the Predator, blah, 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 and they're like,
John goes into the John to fight the Predator.
Yeah, turns out the Predator was on the John. He had to fight him in there. No, that would have been in the second movie with Danny Glover, who's... Or Donald... Wait, Donald Glover's the old actor. Danny Glover's the young rap man, right? Or am I having it backwards?
Backwards.
Oh, I did have it right. It was Danny Glover. Okay. Lethal Weapon's Danny Glover, and This Is America, Don't Catch You Slipping Now is Donald Glover.
Yes.
Okay.
Gambino is
Right. Oh, yeah. He has a rap name, I guess. Maybe so no one would confuse him with... Is that his dad?
That would be amazing. But
that would be... Oh, that sucks. I was like, the Glover family's been fucking killing it since the 80s. But also, like, this This Is America video has all, like, the gun special effects and violence in it. I was like, maybe his dad learned that from Lethal Weapon and helped him out. I think that my made-up version of reality is so much more interesting than the truth, at least to me. I'm sure it's actually like, no, Donald Glover grew up from nothing with no famous dad, and he was unable to... Hi, baby! Shoveling rocks? Yep. I'm sorry. Well, she's going in the laundry room for a spell.
Like, Predator 2 didn't happen historically because America became too violent.
Yeah. I don't even understand that at all. I just love the part where they give him the Civil War gun and there's like a xenomorph skull. You realize how hopeful I was at the end of Predator 2, which I think is underrated. It's kind of a cool movie. And it has a lot of weird canon things in it, you know, where that we learned about the Predator or whatever. That movie, though, came out before everything was a franchise, everything was a series, everything was a reference to something else. I mean, it was a sequel, but it was one of those rare sequels that was good. Because there'd be, like, remember the most of Whatever 2 would just come out straight to VHS at, like, in the video store, and no one would watch it. But Predator 2, like, Back to the Future 2, and some of those... There's no Terminator 2, I guess that was a much bigger deal, but...
Predator 2 is supposed to take place in 1997?
Was that the future? Or did it come out in 97? That was the
future then, but it wasn't...
But not by much, because it wasn't the original Predator the late 80s?
Predator 2 was 1990.
So it was just 7 years in the future.
Right.
Oh, does it take place in 97? Wait, what's the date? Is it supposed to be like, oh, they came to Earth one last time before Judgment Day, and it's the same timeline as Terminator?
Oh, that would be amazing.
They're just like, we're going to do this like one more time, but we know what's about to happen here. And so, like, we're going to let you see the inside of the spaceship with all the xenomorph skulls and things like that. And, like, Star Wars monsters and whatever else. And then we're going to... All right, this is the podcast where we just reminisce about Predator 2. The problem is so much... By the way, I will take a brief aside. My foray into politics has gotten deep to the point where, like, I almost have to stop talking about it now, which is really unfortunate. I mean, I'll start talking about it again once I get way too far, and then I'll just have a big meltdown on camera, and it'll be really amazing.
So, the name on the 1718 pistol...
Yeah.
...was...
John Connor.
No.
Oh, damn it.
Raphael Adolini, who was a pirate who joined forces with the Predator to kill the men who betrayed him for treasure. In a Dark Horse short story.
Now, where the fuck is that movie? Okay, like I kind of like Alien vs Predator. All of those are pretty bad, and that was disappointing. By the way, that was the beginning of the end of.
Oh my God, Predators and pirates? That really? How was that not a movie?
I don't know. Maybe they were started making it. They just were like, no one's gonna watch this, so they turned it into. They got Johnny Depp, and it just turned into Pirates of the Caribbean again because of the script thing. They're like, we're gonna make the Predator and the Pirates. We've got fucking Johnny Depp on board. This is gonna be so cool. And they're like, yeah, but kids have to watch it. Like whatever. Like, well, what the fuck? Like, we started it already. We can't have the Predator. And it has to be about something. Then who's Johnny Depp's pirate character? You can't be that guy anymore. It's like, let's just make it... Who's paying for this? Disney? Let's just make it about the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And they're like, how much cocaine are you on where that's... like, where... You know, where they got that Davy Jones tentacle monster? He seemed like a Lovecraft thing. He was originally the Predator. Pirates of the Caribbean was originally going to be the Predator of the high seas. And I don't mean the guy who runs the Scientology church or whatever. That was the other Predator. Maybe that hit a little too close to home. What?
Disney now owns the rights to Predator.
Well, right, because they had to buy it outright, in order to continue the Pirates of the Caribbean script, which was originally going to be Predator 3.
Well, here's the thing. Since they said
Captain Ron versus the Predator.
it would have been amazing since, like, they said that Johnny Depp will never be, like, in another Pirates movie. If he had been in a Predator movie, like, that was a prequel, that he became that pirate.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have been a Disney pirate, but now, technically, he would be a Disney pirate.
Why am I always a pirate? I was worried about this. Typecast. That's what they did to me. I like how real Johnny Depp talks like fake Hunter Thompson permanently now. Like he lived with him for a year and he just got brain damage before they made Fear and Loathing. Also, I think people forget that that's him. I mean, people don't really talk about Fear and Loathing as much as they should. I mean, I think about it every day, much like Back to the Future 2 and a whole bunch of other things like that. But, like, Johnny Depp to everyone is kind of... Well, for one, he's Captain Jack Sparrow to most people now. And he's like this long-haired, like, rum-drinking, weird criminal. But he played a balding, short-haired, rum-drinking, weird criminal in Fear and Loathing. And everyone was like, oh, that was him? God, he's not handsome in that movie, which I disagree.
I had to correct some coworkers today. They're like, oh, remember Johnny Depp and Donnie Darko? I mean, like, you mean Jake... Gyllenhaal?
You're thinking of Donnie Depp. Don't do what Donnie Depp does.
Right.
That's what I say. Hi, beautiful.
Am I in the frame?
No, you're not in the frame.
Good. I was going to come out naked, and then I decided not to.
Okay, well, that's fine.
Full of dirt.
Well, yeah, the dirt counts as clothing. My beautiful wife, ladies and gentlemen, has been stealing rocks from quarries. And she's been, with someone's permission... removing rocks from various undisclosed locations around the greater Twin Cities metro area. Yeah, that's fair.
Because you can't have them, they're my rocks, so I can't tell you where they are.
No, we're not going to disclose any locations.
Yeah, you'll have all of them by the time this airs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that I talked to who was trying to like, flirt with me was like, you can have all of it, this rock, it's all yours. And I was like, good, well, I'll need a semi first.
Yeah. And he's like, I got a semi. And he was talking about his boner.
Yeah, and then he was like, honk, honk.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, bye, I'm going to take a shower.
All right, that's fine. It's a fine thing to do. There's no way anyone could hear that, by the way.
Oh my God.
I mean, we're 12 minutes in. This one's not going to be one for the record book. I guess because there's no point. Oh yeah, we were talking about Pirates of the Caribbean and Predator. So, maybe we should just talk about movies. That'd be good. It's motivational. It motivates you to watch some more movies instead of being on Twitter like a fucking dumbass.
I do want to tell you about the time that I went to a quarry because we went to pick up some rocks. And there was a guy in a pickup there who wanted this big boulder.
Yeah.
And like the guy's like, nah, I can't put that in your truck, man. It's gonna destroy your truck.
Yeah.
And like, what? I can have that in the fucking truck. And like this guy like had to argue with him so that he wouldn't destroy this guy's fucking truck.
Yeah.
Like this boulder weighs more than your truck. I can't put it in the back of your Toyota pickup.
Yeah. I'll have you know this Toyota is built Ford tough. He said maybe. That'd be funny.
It was just great. Like, you know, they were like shoveling rocks into the back of like a fucking Silverado, and like this guy with a tiny Toyota was trying to ask for this giant boulder. Like,
give me the boulder.
That's not gonna fucking work.
I'll tell you what, if you can pick it up, it's all yours.
Oh God, I would.
Why not?
I would love to see that pickup get fucking destroyed. That fucking boulder like gently laid in there, and then
it just slowly just destroyed. Like the shocks just. Yeah, it's funny when it's like not like it got dropped in there. It just gradually destroyed it through the power of gravity, just slowly crushing the pickup. I love a good slow, just destruction of something where it's like it's just crumbling. You're like, wow. It's like, what are you gonna do? Lift it out of there? I don't. Yeah.
Wait, what was he gonna do when he got home? Like,
that's the thing that
fast enough that like it fucking rolled out of there and then was like.
Yeah, actually, that whoever stopped him from doing that prevented what would have been like a great viral like video or whatever. It's just like this guy driving, like the rims of his tire, like wheels have sliced through the tires. It's like Homer Simpson with the piano chained to the top of his car, just driving home. It's all flat and fucked up. They were getting a lot of sparks on this side, Dad. Like, just leaving, like, tracks in the street. And then he's like, okay, like, it somehow still makes it, because Toyotas are kind of indestructible in the engine department. They will fall apart all but the engine, which is that Boulder would hasten in that pickup truck. But then, yeah, like, they get there, and he's like, all right, just gun it backwards and then slam the brakes on or something, and just watch it, like roll, just flip the truck over, and it just rolls down a little, like, landscaping hill into the side of their house, and the whole house falls down. He's like, good thing we filmed it, huh? He's like, turn that off. Like a smart-ass kid's like, I'm going to be a Vine superstar, Dad. Like, you're going to be a homeless Vine superstar, you Boulder filming mistake. The dad, because your parents, they, like, did something like wreck their own truck and house with a boulder they got against everyone's advice, and it's, like, your fault for being a kid they had. You know how that goes. I don't know. Why? Yeah, if, like, I don't know how he's planning on getting it out of there. And also, why ask the guy? He could have just taken it or something. Hey, the guy should have just let him do it. I don't understand. See, I understand that accountability would be a great thing to have in this country, like with everybody from the cops to, like, private citizens, trying not to run through red lights and kill people and stuff. It would be great, but it's not happening. So I don't know why we don't just push the other way. Like, just become a society of just liars and cheats, and like the whole country could be like a back alley dice game while there's like a Tom Waits song in the background. Like, it's just, oh, I'm down on my luck. Like, how come like 90% of the buildings are just bars and it's always nighttime in America? Like, well, because we just decided to be pimps and junkies and whores and grifters. Oh my. And it's all, the new national anthem is a Tom Waits song about the ghost of a hobo or something who lost his life in a bad card game. And it's just like, that's America, baby. Like, what? Yeah. No, that's, yeah, I don't, and I mean, we were talking about this earlier with the whole, like, Bill got a rain barrel for some reason from somebody.
It was free, 2 houses down, so
But I mean, are you going to collect rainwater? According to the dumbest people I've ever seen in my life on Facebook that think they understand things like the Constitution or math, they say the government won't let you collect rainwater, Bill. Have you found that to be true?
Actually, I looked into it, and the most restrictive state on record is Colorado, which restricts you to 110 gallons.
What is that, a year or a month?
Total, like having
Whatever.
At one time.
Oh, just having on hand. So if you were to drink a glass of water, you could collect one more glass then of rainwater, of bird shit roof encrusted, filthy, goddamn poisonous radioactive rainwater. And,
all the states with restrictions on record are specifically so you don't drink bird shit water and are a drain on the
but isn't that,
system.
we don't have freedom of basically anything in this country. So it's because of the healthcare system?
Yes.
Okay. I love that the healthcare system that's nothing but an overpriced racket to extract money out of the sick and dying somehow cares whether you get some weird disease that House would have to fucking figure out from drinking bird shit. That was an episode of House once. It was actually a pretty good one too.
Yes.
They started going they were blind, but it was just because their brain wasn't picking it up or something, and they would laugh. Like, they would turn into the Joaquin Phoenix Joker for like no reason. And House shot a corpse.
Yes.
And they pulled the bullet, came out in the MRI machine, and fucking like, that's like a really good episode of that show. I mean, I liked House, but some of them were a little bit forgettable or whatever.
Right.
And some of them were like a very special episode.
Like I've seen like, I don't know, maybe 30 total episodes of House.
Oh,
but
I've seen the whole
remember
thing.
that one.
I've seen like all 9 seasons or whatever, and I remember that one.
Where like he like went back into this like biohazard house and was like told him like, hey, you don't need to like extract that guy's brain, like cut off a piece of that guy's brain. Like,
that's right.
We already
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, it's like at the end of Ghostbusters. I'm gonna need a sample of your brain tissue. Okay. Like when the dog thing turns into Rick Moranis.
Oh yeah.
I think I missed the first part of the movie, but there's this cool monster dog, and then they unfairly persecute the owner of these 2 gentle giants, the way people often do with pit bulls, and they blow up a building, melt a friendly marshmallow man, and turn the cute puppies into Rick Moranis. Well, and Sigourney Weaver though. And that's a bonus. She's hot stuff. So that's okay. And actually, you know what? We all love Rick Moranis. No, By the way, for the record, before you write in, which you should just to get clicks because of the antagonism, but I have indeed watched the entirety of Ghostbusters from beginning to end so many times that once me and my old band, in all of us, had watched Ghostbusters to the point where we could recite the entire script from beginning to end. We're going to book a Halloween show, and instead of playing a single song, we just do like a 4-man, like 1-act play of like Ghostbusters where we just recite the entire movie. $95,000. You didn't even bargain with the guy. Like, I remember all the stupid parts. I've worked in the private sector. They expect results. Like, I love the non-supernatural parts of Ghostbusters so much. I mean, the supernatural parts are really like the icing on the cake, but the funny parts is when they're just like 80s guys in sweaters, like smoking cigarettes while they're fixing like this broken car, and that's not even like the joke. The joke is something else. It's like about starting a business or whatever. Oh, right, but the most restrictive state only allows you... No, because listen, I remember, because whenever, the Grandpa Simpsons, i.e. people my age and possibly younger of Facebook, whenever, the president is a Democrat, suddenly the federal government, they're coming to get you, like you're Dale Gribble from King of the Hill. And they're like, oh, you can't even collect rainwater? I'm not going to say which state or what the rules are, but share this if you think Barack Obama is the N-word. And by that, I mean a no-good guy that won't let you collect rainwater. And you're like, I better share this. I just saw I haven't seen a stupid idiot, like, Facebook meme or article in a while, because I don't really do anything but go on there and go like, listen to my podcast, and the occasional music video or whatever, you fucking pukes. But... yeah, I'm on various groups like you are, and one of them is all about snakes. Several of them are all about snakes, frankly.
Derpatology.
Yeah, that's the one. Derpatology. Because herpetology is the study of snakes, and derps is self-explanatory internet memery. And, it's obvious. So, but... like, somebody posted a picture. Like, people post things to it because other people on there will like it. But if they're always like, oh, I posted my iguana on regular Facebook. And be like, you should kill that thing. Because people are like, I don't even have people like that on my Facebook anymore because I basically committed, like, an ideological genocide by posting stuff that's so insane that they're just like, I didn't have to unfollow or unfriend any Trump voters. I literally, it was like throwing a smoke grenade into a rat-infested building and they all just went running away. I was like, hey, check this out. It's like, there's everything where it's like the shit I post on the internet, I do for the same reason Vlad the Impaler put people on spikes in the woods leading up to his, like, kingdom or whatever. Like, people would just walk. They're like, we're going to go have a word with this Vlad the Impaler, and they'd walk through all these just naked people on spikes in the forest. And they would just, like, silently turn around and leave. And that is the kind of energy that I want to bring to social media. Like, I want to be like, I'm going to tell this liberal that if he thinks that fucking it's okay for him to say he's better think again. And then they're like, oh, never mind. Yeah, it's like discussing ethics with Satan. Go fuck yourself. And, but I still will lurk on other people's things. And there was this lady, this young woman posting a thing of her, like a ball python. The one that, like, everybody has anyway. It's not even that weird. Like, we have one, and, they're one of them, like, the most bred pet snake or something like that. Like, I mean, corn snake's a better beginner snake, but a ball python is just, it's like a kind of a biggish one, and they're fairly easy to take care of. They can kind of be picky eaters, but there's other snakes that are, like, really hard to take care of and are really fragile and not very hardy and stuff. Like weird, rare reptiles, sometimes you got to keep their environment so perfect that they're it's hard to keep them alive, which sucks because you get to be real friendly with them, and then they die, and it's sad. So you get ones that, are hardy, and ball pythons are fairly. So she posts this picture, and, like, immediately somebody's like, some fucking Francine, Karen's overused, and this doesn't really work on the internet, I don't think. I think Karen's, like, more of, like, a real-life cryptid, out in the wild. When you really see someone melting down, you're like, this is a real Karen. But I think on the internet, it's just like an Aunt Doreen or something. Just like, but the articles...
an Aunt Doreen.
Yeah, well, see, that's where it started. She was patient zero. Or is she a very, like, progressively minded lady that knows how to read and shit?
I mean, she was...
was. Does her ghost still post to Facebook?
No, she's retired, but like...
she was just like... She was like a real bitch, and then she was like, you know what? It's time to hang it up. I'm going to stop sharing those articles.
No, I was just going to tell you her career.
I don't care about that at all.
She was an anesthesiologist.
Oh, man. Well, that's important to know. But anyway, I think that, like, yeah, I know I can't get any of that good gas no more because you're retired. So you just save a little on the side, Aunt Doreen? Can we get a little giggly? Huh? A little giggly around Thanksgiving? I think that'd be fun. Like, you know, if you don't have like a nitrous tank in your basement somewhere, why the fuck did you even give your life to that company? Why work at that job if you're not going to spread a little giggle gas around the holidays? I think Aunt Doreen's holding out on us. Okay, put a pin in that one. Write down, go see if Aunt Doreen has medical grade giggle gas and if we can steal it from her. Oh, yeah. So
I am not going to ask my godmother for
I will ask. I will either pretend I'm you or do some sort of home invasion at the end where I'm like, see, I was just looking for Aunt Doreen. I'm a friend of the family. Like while they're crying in a pool of their own urine in the corner because I did show up with a ski mask waving a shotgun around. But, you know, that's how I go a lot of places. Anyway, so what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, yeah, giggle gas from Aunt Doreen. Oh, people on Facebook, right, the snakes. Somebody, like some lady put like this article, and in the article, it was like snake owners, something, but in the article, in the headline, it literally said, if you think something about snakes are safe, you better think again. Like when something says think again, it's bullshit.
Right.
Like you don't have to read anything ever. This is good motivational advice somehow. You don't. If someone gives you an article and you're like, well, like let's say you're a moron and you don't have the critical thinking skills that I do, which is, by the way, that of like probably a 9th grader. It's just that yours don't exist at all. So it's like it looks like I'm the one-eyed king in the land of the blind there. But so yeah. But if I'll give you a little helpful hint. If you're like, gosh, I don't know whether or not to believe this misspelled thing on liberty.angelfire.org.yahoo. You know, but maybe they're spitting the real truth. You know, maybe Elon Musk and George Soros haven't gotten to him yet, or whatever it is. Whoever nobody likes, I don't even know anymore. But here's a helpful hint from your old friend Reverend John. If it says blah 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 blah, think again, it's a bunch of bullshit. Like it is written by someone who's like. You know, be careful if you handle your crystals too soon after taking CBD. There's like an interaction. Like that's who wrote that. At fucking best, it's like a yoga instructor that talks like that. And then at fucking worst, it's like a 90-pound paraplegic on a ventilator that's just on like 8chan all day long, whose avatar is a picture of like a fat hick with a fish so people will listen to him, going like, oh, you don't think the government will execute you summarily for collecting rainwater? Well, you better think again. Anyway, I posted on it. Like, nobody knows me, but I think I just found her personal thing and just because I was like, I'm gonna respond to this as a concerned and unpleasant citizen, and I was just like, I was like, damn, I already thought about this, and now I have to think again. What's next? Thinking a third time? Jesus. Big Snake really has everybody in their pocket around here, huh? Yeah, if you think there's no such thing as Big Snake, you better think for a 4th time because it's on there being insane. And that's another favorite game of mine called Go More Hardline Than the People You're Arguing With. And I know this was already a Doug Stanhope bit, but it's one of my favorite things ever when he crank called the people posting pictures of aborted fetuses or whatever because they were technically naked. So he was just like, you're the worst kind of child pornographer I've ever seen. Don't you put me, mister. I know why you're distributing these materials. You could have photoshopped a bikini onto that little guy or gal, but people are getting off to this, and it's your fault. I hope you burn in hell. Click. And that's such a good angle. Because I love doing that. Like, I can't talk about it much, but you know, there was a bit of a local neighborhood politics thing where I was just like, I just went harder in the paint than them, and they were like, that's totally unreasonable. And I'm like, it sounds like that's what you want to do. I don't know, I have to be really vague. But it was pretty funny. Oh, man. And
don't go into it
I won't.
for reasons.
No, I'm not going to. But because also I had an old fashioned, and this is my second martini I'm working on. So I mean, well, I kind of want more booze.
Yeah.
Shit.
What do you want me to grab?
I don't know. Actually, and I apologize. Well, and you might actually have to drive later. Would you just grab me a beer out of the fridge over there?
I'll hang out for a bit.
Okay. Well, I just mean that you can't have a beer, you know?
Well, yeah.
So that's what. Don't.
I know.
It's gonna like stop recording. It's like really super close up on your face.
Oh shit! All right. Look, I can't get in the fridge.
You can not at all?
No.
Not even the door? Just crack it. Oh, there's a Bud Light right there. Reach in there. No, the door.
Oh god.
Okay, you got Bill. Come on. Bill, I can.
Monster Energy.
No. It's on the door. On the door in the back. On the door. On the top part of the door. See there?
Shit.
Yeah, I can see it from here. There it is.
Oh, God.
All right, yeah, Bill, you did it.
Oh, God.
Look at the camera. Yes, the leftover Bud Light from the 4th of July. Thank you, Bill.
Oh shit! That was stressful.
I know, that was a harrowing.
Did I move the camera?
Yeah, like a lot, but that's fine.
Oh my god.
You know what? Now it's up to you to lean in. Now everybody can see my jug of lemon juice next to the broken Jägermeister machine. And that's just how the rest of this... Actually, no. Can you go up there?
Yes.
Just grab the light bar, though. Don't grab the phone. And just gently, a little go. Don't lift it. Just turn. There. Too far. There. There we are. God, this is a good podcast.
All right. If you're listening on any of Apple or Spotify,
Which I think we're up to about 10 consistent listens a month on those now.
Guys, you should really check out see it on YouTube for the video nonsense.
Yeah, there is. I mean, it doesn't look like it or anything, but it's like I do put in like... Actually, you know what's funny? I like this angle better. Like, it's...
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Bill, for both grabbing me a beer and wrecking the camera, and then sort of fixing the camera, and by accident making the angle a little better, which I'm only saying because I'm grasping at straws to not get really fucking mad right now. Not at you, but just the situation.
I got you.
The elbow room... Ooh, maybe we could go back to doing the... Maybe next time let's sit on either side of the bar and I'll put the camera over there and like face it this way. Because remember how Rum Dumpster used to be like that? Okay, let's do that. Because like, everybody, you can just see like...
the machine's gone, it'll be great.
Right, yeah, we got to get rid of that thing. I mean, it doesn't make for a bad piece in the background or whatever, but it is kind of like...
Right, like
it was old and gross.
I like the Blue Felix MySpace sticker.
I know, I really love that a lot. Blue Felix go to myspace.com/Blue Felix. If you want to maybe find something from my old band from way before I was ever even in it. Bill, yeah, go to Blue Felix's MySpace page. It's even still there. So I thought they did something that kind of preserved the music like a little bit on there or something. I don't remember. Oh, right. So anyway, yeah, I told everyone on Derpatology to think like for a third time. I don't know, whatever. But we were on the rain barrel thing. I mean, keep looking, but I'm going to talk. So Bill got a rain barrel. And what I was reminiscing about was that there was a time, kind of in the like, does everybody remember the internet kind of like, I know it's hard, it's almost hard to remember shit like that before COVID, and certainly before Trump, but like the weird pre-Trump internet that led to that basically happening, where, you know, from like 2012 and 13, where old people started getting on the internet, because the internet at large went in stages. It was like, first it was like only computer nerds, so the whole thing was like the tech pages of Reddit, like the whole internet was. And then it was at the very least like a generation of kids that kind of grew up on a little bit having the internet. So then like MySpace happened and they'd be watching Homestar Runner and whatever. There was like that. But then it was like after that, it started being like stupid regular people and then old people. Like when Peter Pepper was here, he was talking about how he remembers the day on Twitter when it went from like some statistic about CPU usage and finances or whatever the fuck it would just be back then, to being like baby mamas be like, and he's like, baby mamas be like is trending on this weird thing on the internet. And that's when he was like, oh shit, everyone's on the internet now, fuck. And he called it, I called it. Like as soon as people's grandmas started being on Facebook, I was like, oh, we're done, like this country's over now, like this ain't gonna last. That was like a while ago. What are you finding?
You were on Middle Finger Up, right?
No. That was way before I joined. I was friends with Jake and...
All right, what CD were you...
The one... I produced one of the songs on...
In Line to Die, Sample Solution,
no.
Midwest Meltdown.
No.
All right, those are the only CDs they have on here.
Oh, on MySpace? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't join... MySpace was gone, like, long gone, but when I joined Blue Felix.
All right. I mean, like, it's still a thing because I'm looking at it right now.
Well, I mean, you know, as far as a thing that people actually look at or do or whatever.
You see this picture of a rosy boa snake?
Oh.
I know, right?
That's a baby, I think, because those get big.
Yeah. I was just, like, looking
Is that not a sand boa?
Yeah.
The face looks like a... Okay.
Rosy boa.
All right.
I was looking at the most common snakes, and you're
the
right.
people...
The ball python is the most common.
Oh, yeah, for people that, like, own in America or whatever.
That is...
well, even Snake Discovery, they breed all kinds of snakes. I don't even think they breed no, they certainly don't.
I don't...
They don't breed ball pythons there, but they always have them. They always have them. They're beautiful. I mean, they're expensive, like fancy morphs and shit.
They have a crazy amount of morphs that are available, as well as they're generally very shy demeanor, which I wouldn't want a shy snake.
Yeah, beluga. Well, you know what's weird though? Beluga's more shy than like average even. They can be pretty, but she is very chill. Like once she does realize, once you've been handling her for a minute, because we do work with her. And by work with her, I say that like I'm a fucking animal trainer. We take her out and let her hang out with us on the couch, you know, every couple nights. You know, it's like, hey, Beluga needs to be socialized a little bit.
I've held her once.
Yeah, but I think that's pretty good though. I mean, there's people that have pet snakes that you can't even, and not because they're cobras or whatever, but just because they're so skittish. It's like you can't. It's no fun. But yeah, she hung out with you. She, you know, they're actual. Even when she's being a little squirrely, she's happy. Because if they're actually upset, they ball up. They will just hide. And sometimes she's like that. She's like a cheese Danish when I pick her up out of there. Actually, I prefer it. She's gotten so comfortable with me now that she kind of like hangs out her whole length when I'm trying to grab her out of her thing, and she's big and strong. So like her tail will kind of catch hold of the edge of her thing and grab. Let go of the fucking. Like when she was more scared, she would just be this little nugget I'd just pick up, and then she'd relax and hang out eventually. But I'm glad that she's less, you know, stressed out and whatever. But it does make wrestling her in and out of her enclosure kind of hard. Okay, though. I really wanted to get back to the rain barrel thing just because. Right. Oh, I was talking about when the democracy in the country fell apart, where it began, and yeah, well, right. But one of the things that people constantly bitched about when they were like, you know, the federal, because, you know, if George W. Bush was president, it was like, well, basically Jesus runs the country and they can do no wrong. And then as soon as it was like a black guy, it was like the federal government, yeah. And then it was Trump and everyone's like, oh, it's good now. And then it was like anybody else and they were just like, well, they're trying to control what you do. And like none of the rules have changed in all of that time, like at all. And the rain barrel thing that you're looking up, like that was one of them. Like, you're not even allowed to collect rain that falls from Mother Earth's teat and maybe wet pussy. Who knows where rain's not really milk. Yeah, it's Mother Earth's pussy juice. You can't collect Mother Earth's wet ass pussy juice. Where the government's going to step in, and literally, if you go state by state, they're like, "Yeah, you can almost do that as much as you want."
It's but that was such encouraged in more than half.
Yeah, some of them are like, "Hey, you should do this. It's good for the environment."
You want a tax rebate?
Yeah, we'll give you money for it. They're like, well, not in this state I don't live in that I heard about on the internet somewhere. What were they don't? And the next thing, before you know it, it's going to be here. It's coming. It's always coming. I mean, you're not coming. You're impotent and fat, and no one wants to touch your penis, but all these it's coming. You know, they're going to come for... You know, the only thing that everyone said was going to happen that happened was them trying to revoke abortion rights, and that was, you know, that was our thing to bitch about, and that actually happened. Being like, oh, you can't collect rain, but pretty soon, like, that has not happened. Like, no one has taken anybody's guns. It's the worst conspiracy in the history of the world. You know, like, the CIA can collapse, like, a third world government in like an afternoon. And it's like, oh, but they're going to take your guns. I'm like, okay, they've been trying for what, according to you, like 87 years and it just hasn't worked yet?
You know why they revoked abortion rights?
Why?
Because Jesus is always coming.
Oh, yes. Jesus is coming! Get your tubes tied. Oh, yeah. So, you know, the funny thing is, though, like, look, the thing about, I guess I would say, like, kind of both sides of the spectrum is that people just aren't prepared to break the law, which is shocking because everyone's like a rebel. Everyone's like, thinks that in Star Wars they'd be like Han Solo or something. You know, it's like, I don't listen to nobody, but you're like, uh-oh, I hope they don't make suppressors illegal or whatever for like a gun. It's like 3D print one, you dipshit. How fucking hard is it to do stuff like that? It's going to cost a little bit of money, but you like capitalism, right? You're always like, well, it's the free market. Well, then, yeah. Then go out there and make some of that money, buy a 3D printer, put a suppressor on your fucking AR-15. Who cares? Like, what, you're just mad you can't get one from Walmart? And, you know, that side of things, but also, you know, maybe like my side of the mountain a little bit more, too, is like, they're going to make it illegal. Well, then break the fucking law! I mean, not to put too fine a point on it, but all of you people who are yelling about this shit are white. What, do you think you're going to go to jail for something? It's basically impossible. Like, if you see a white person in jail, like, they had to be, like, have to have fucked up so bad, and it usually has to do with, like, meth and car theft or something, or they were breaking into parking meters to steal quarters or some shit. Like, it's never like, oh, man, I buried my rain barrels underground and hid them with trees, but then black CIA helicopters came, and here I am rotting away in prison. Like, that is not reality.
In some states, that is the only thing that makes them illegal is if you keep them underground. Like,
but also, are they
underground? They're legal.
Is the government employing mole people? Like, I don't think it matters. But again, like, to be fair, there was a bunch of guys being like, I'm gonna get snipped after this abortion thing. Which, yeah, probably do that. I would say that's like a good idea. But they're like, well, the doctor won't let me do it unless I've had kids. But I mean, may I remind you that you're a dude. Like a woman can kind of be like, oh, I've had kids, and they can kind of like inspect. It's bullshit, you know. They can inspect you and be like, I don't think you have. But if you're a guy, they can't just look at your dick hole and be like, oh, you've had a couple of kids. Ooh, twins at one point. There's no evidence of it anywhere. And you can just be, if the doctor goes, have you had children? Just go, yes, I have. And then shut up. Because he's probably just going to go, thank you, because the doctor wants to believe you. He knows you're going to lie to him. You're doing him a favor. Like that bottle of shampoo didn't end up your ass because you slipped in the shower. He knows that. You know that. But he doesn't need the story that you were, like, pretending you were in the locker room after, like, some basketball game, and you're just like, oh, yeah, give it to me. You know, like, you just leave him out of it. He's got to go home after this. He doesn't want to wake up screaming every night, so you just go, I'll fill up the shower. And he goes, yeah, that's possible, and just writes it down. That's the contract. So if when they go, oh, you want to get a vasectomy? Well, have you had any children? And he knows that, you know, you fucking faked that back injury for OxyContin's already. He's like, okay, just say the right thing so I can write it down, please. And then you go, well, no. And he's like, God, you're stupid. Too bad you're going to have kids now, I guess, because no, I can't order this operation for you because of some bizarre draconian laws. But, yeah, don't follow bizarre draconian laws. Like, I don't. Like, people like my friend David Murder, just the other day, we went to see Pussifer when Peter was in town, and it was great. But we were standing outside while he was smoking in between bands or something, and we brought something up, and he's said this so many times, like, I can't believe you've never even seen the inside of a local jail cell, let alone prison. He's like, it's unbelievable. I'm like, yeah, I know. But it's like, I don't ever say anything to nobody. I'm taking a shitload of secrets to the grave. And, like, you just do it right. Like, I break the law every day. And people are like, well, I hope they don't make this illegal or I won't be able to have it anymore. It's like, yeah, I'll have it. It's fucking easy. What are you, stupid? And, you know, getting a vasectomy, I mean, when you're a man, like, make up a whole story. Like, for one, if he just goes, you have kids, okay, say yes. And then don't say anything else. Let the doctor, like the cops, ask the questions. And then you just tell the doctor you want your attorney. I mean, I don't know. But I'm going to let my lawyer answer this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that. I have a doctor's appointment coming up. I'm just going to refer him to my attorney. He's like, no, I'm wondering how your anxiety is doing. It's like, talk to my lawyer. They'll let you know. My lawyer is Fickles, by the way. Hey, John Wheeler's real fucked up. You didn't do something, doc. I'm like, yep, that's what my lawyer says. Wait, lawyer is not a word for coke dealer, is it? Oh, never mind. This story makes no sense. Anyhow,
It's like when I talk to the doctor about my depression.
Doc, talk to my coke dealer.
If you tell them, then they'll know.
Oh, yeah, shit. Well, yeah, you're already lying to him, and then you're like, well, it sucks that this rule exists. Don't follow it. I mean, for God's sake, you people are children. Like if he goes like, how many? Then just make up a number. Make up a huge number. Be like, I don't know, 9? You'd be like, oh, wait, so you have not, well, yeah, they're with like different women all over the country in between you and me. Child support payments are killing me. I mean, I'm not paying a bunch of them. I get all these like summonses from other states. You gotta help me out, Doc. I can't keep it in my pants. I got fucking bitches and so many area codes. It's costing me a fucking fortune. My wife's getting suspicious. Because, yeah, I mean, I was with her when I had some of these children, but I had all these children, not with her. That's why, and by the way, it's between you and me, buddy. Let's not upset the old apple cart here. I'm barely holding my marriage together. She's riding my ass about kids. I can't tell her I have 9. I'm telling you in confidence. I'm out of control. I'm going to end up in debtor's prison. I'm going to create, and all these little kids are going to be criminals too. They're probably going to steal your car. You have to help me. Like, abortion's illegal now. So just snip my fucking shit. Like, I don't get, like, have a little fun with, like, and again, like, if you lie to your doctor about how many bastard children you have with strange women across the country, just keep a straight face. Or laugh. What's he going to do? Be like, I don't believe you. I'm like, well, yeah, here's the phone book. Go figure it out. Like, these things are 15 minutes long and they cost me $200. I mean, really? We're just going to go examine. We're going to play Where's Waldo with my sperm? Yeah, I've got a bunch of kids. Like, my wife thinks all that money's going into a retirement fund. I mean, 10 years, we're fucked, man. This is on you. I will be forced, as I hit Pulp Fiction, I'll be forced to tell Marcellus Wallace that you did not help me. You let this fucked up bitch die on your lawn. That's what it is. That is the problem in this country. Just ignore the godforsaken rules. Like, you're not going to go to jail for, like, look, you don't have to lie to the IRS. You only have to lie to the guy doing your taxes. Once he believes you, it's his fault. Did you know that? He might go to jail forever because of something you did, and you're going to get maybe a strongly worded email when he gets out. But you know what? Plenty more tax guys where that came from. Just take your business elsewhere. Give him a 1-star review. Slander him. Call him a liar. Move on! Instead of being like, my taxes are dead. Speaking of people bitching about rain barrels on Facebook, it's like they're all like, I had to pay $200 in property taxes last year. That's why I'm not rich. You notice that that's a thing with everybody? Like, well, for one, it's not that much money. Making any amount of money, like, if you make any amount of money, like, my wife makes more money doing something that she didn't even finish a degree for, that she kind of just lied her way into. Not really lied, but was, crafty because she's smart. Makes more money than most people with actual college degrees that I fucking know. And then, like, we're like, oh, taxes? Yeah, who gives a shit? But then also, I have, she works at a job with a payroll. I'm an independent guy doing things or whatever. So I write all this shit off. Once you're married, it gets written off on her shit too. Like, she got the biggest, we basically didn't pay any taxes. And I didn't even really lie. I was just like, you can do all this stuff. So if you're bitching that you're not rich because, like, taxes are taking all of it, A, you're fucking stupid because it's not that much. Like, once you're truly rich, it just doesn't matter. Like, oh, that billionaire had to give up $50 million of his dollars. Like, he won't miss it. It's fine. And then also, if you're too stupid to figure out how to just basically not pay them, because, yeah, of course, when I was way broker, I didn't pay them by just, not doing my taxes. I didn't get in trouble for that. But I don't think I even made enough money, like, being in a touring band for it to count. So it's fucking, I don't even think it matters. I could yell about it on here because it was so long ago. It's like, whatever. They'd be like, hey, that bar did give you $50 for playing the early slot and the late slot one time. Like, yeah, no, they're not going to go to Stumpy's Dump in Pascagoula, Missouri and figure out if, like, that actually happened. But now, as a married homeowner and shit, like, the materials are, like, right there for you. Like, I want to move somewhere where there's, like, less property tax. Like, I just don't pay them. There's so many ways to do it. Like, legal ways. I'm not even talking about breaking the law anymore. Like, at this point, You deserve to have your money taken and given to someone else. I mean, it's not being given to anyone that needs it. It's being given to whoever, like, builds predator drones to go blow people up on the other side of the world or whatever. It's not making your community safer. It's not doing anything good. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. But that's... I don't know.
All right. The IRS will almost never go back more than 6 years.
Oh, and this was fucking so much longer than that. Yeah, and if they do, it's like, we want that $100. Like, they're not, it's gonna, I think they don't tend to do things that cost them more than what they're gonna get. It's like when people are like, I'm gonna sue you, and they don't realize that's gonna run up like an $80,000 fucking lawyer bill to get like $1,000 from some car accident bullshit from somebody that didn't have insurance or whatever. Like, it's just, I mean, I guess it'll teach them a lesson. If that matters to you, you small, petty piece of shit with nothing else going on in your life.
The typical audit statute is 3 years. In some circumstances, such as foreign income or substantial underreporting, the IRS can audit for 6. But not more than that.
Yep. Well, fuck them. But I mean, we're not even talking about me either. We're talking about people who are like, you know, I make $50,000 a year driving a forklift, and the wife has her little Etsy business. Like, the taxes are just killing us. No. You bought way too big of a house out in Prior Lake because you're fucking afraid of black people, and you're paying for like all this acreage you don't use to park your pickup truck that you don't use for work, to put the jet skis that you fucking almost went bankrupt trying to finance so you could go to the lake. Like, you're drowning in debt because of your own stupid fucking decisions. You're like, there's too much taxes. Well, I have a way that you can cut down on your water bill if you live in Minnesota, because apparently you can drink all the rainwater you want. And if you're the kind of person that I'm talking to, make sure you don't boil it first. Just drink it fresh. You know? Natural. You won't need to get vaccinated if you drink bird shit water. It just cleans your system right out. That's Mother Nature.
If you don't know what potable means, you should probably be drinking rainwater.
You should! Potable is a big word that the liberal media wants you to waste your precious time looking up on websites that get money from clicks, and they send that money to George Soros. And I mean, you know how the whole thing works. Yeah, don't read. Just drink rainwater. Just mainline hookworms into your carotid artery. And malignant spirochetes and all sorts of other words that I know you don't know. Now, if you're listening to this, you probably know words, I guess. If not, by now, I get drunk and repeat myself so much I'm really hammering the lessons home. This has been one of the more motivational podcasts, so actually, like, those happen occasionally, even though it's supposed to always be a motivational podcast. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I guess if there's anything that you're going to take away from this as a whole, break the law! Just do it! Just don't, like, cook meth and steal cars. Have you ever watched 60 Days In? No one's in there from collecting rainwater. Like, it's from, like, fighting people in bars and getting DWIs. They get, like, 17 in, like, a year. Like, oh, I'm fucking in jail. It's bullshit. It's it's usually, there's nobody that's been, like, embezzling money, cheating their taxes, defrauding the government, defrauding a charitable organization, fucking lying to their doctor, fucking selling stuff that they stole in a state where it's legal and sold here where it's illegal. Like, right? Like, how many people in 60 Days In are, like, in for racketeering? That's not a thing! Just break the law! We always used to drive to Wisconsin for booze when it was like, no one had a problem doing that when you couldn't get it on Sundays here. Mm-hmm. Like, rather than, it's probably why it was illegal on Sundays for so long, because nobody lobbied anything. They were just like, well, we could complain and try to change this, but, like, let's just fuck that. Let's drive to Wisconsin. And that is the correct energy. Because now you can't lobby things or change things. It's just all gerrymandered to shit by fucking, like, red state people who, you know, and people whose fortunes come from resource extractions that don't want any sort of rules about anything, so they get you all fired up. It's like, I can't believe there's a tax if you own a fracking mine. I'm like that you're never going to own. But they have you caring about that. Like, if you're gonna frack your own shit, just frack and break the law, man. Just set up your own fracking thing. How long do you think it would take before someone noticed that? Nobody does that. I was looking up I was trying on Google because remember the thing where they said the California wildfires are started by like Jewish space lasers or something because they're just so hell bent on going. That's not the environment being ruined. It's Jewish space lasers. And then like I tried to look up how many real fires. You know what I mean? Because they can investigate arson and shit like that. Like, have they ever proved that anyone's used a laser to start a fire? Because you absolutely can do that. Like, my friend Sam Dunn, who, like, throws EDM shows and stuff, he's like, the amount of permits you need for those, like, 3-watt lasers and shit they use in those, because, like, if they're set the wrong way, they'll just catch the club on fire and burn people's faces off like fucking Homelander and the boys. Like, it's really dangerous. And it's like, yeah, and I'm like, well, bet... You know, has anyone ever used one of those to burn a whole city block down? And there's like nothing about it anywhere that I've looked. So it's either no one's thought of it or it's impossible to tell. Meaning that like, I don't know why did I get on that? I don't know. Like I'm just,
Oh my God, is this real?
no one was on 60 Days In for being a laser arsonist. Like it's shit that you'd expect people to get caught for. Like they steal a car and then they nod off on heroin in a drive-thru and they just go to jail. Like, if you could avoid doing that, you will never see jail time. You will never see jail time. You can collect rainwater. You could put your, like the worst thing that's ever going to happen is, like, an HOA is going to come after you because your fence is in the wrong place. And then you're going to, like, confuse a homeowners association with an actual branch of the government. It'd be like, this is all Biden's fault. Because you don't know how, like, global oil prices work or anything works at all. Yeah. I don't know. Just do it anyway. Whatever you're planning on doing. Just, like, you're not going to get in trouble. No one's paying any attention. Like, I understand that they do tend to catch people who do drive-by shootings, but those are fucking sloppy. Like, mail someone a bomb from, like, a P.O. box address. I don't know. Do I have to do everything for you? Like, if you want somebody dead, buy a drone and, like, drop a grenade on their house or something. Like, I don't... You know... So like walking around with like a fucking stolen gun in your pants that are around your ankles. Like, yeah, people do notice that shit and call the police. But tax evasion, now that's a gentleman's crime. Collecting rainwater, which again, you should be drinking as much of that as you can get into you without... Don't boil it first, because then all the antioxidants disappear. Because pure rainwater comes from the earth. Comes from Mother Nature. And it gets the toxins out of your body. Just be careful not to handle your crystals within 24 hours before you drink rainwater. Because there can be some side effects. Not as bad as Big Pharma, like SSRIs and things, but I mean, you know, still. Yeah, it's two... One's an earth element, one's a water element, you know. Mind the rules there. What am I even talking about anymore? This is already... The hour is almost up. I fucking can't believe that. I don't even know what this is about. But we'll entitle it Breaking the Law. Or Learn to Break the Law.
Breaking the law.
Or don't... Yeah. I want to listen to that. You know, there's like there's that new Beavis and Butthead movie where they go to space. It's streaming on something that we need to watch. Yeah, but there's going to be a new... The series is restarting.
I pay for that, so we have it.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be great. Yeah. But there's a series now, too.
I'll just hang out for the night, and we'll just keep drinking.
That's probably a good idea, yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, so Bill and I are going to see if Alexis wants to watch Beavis and Butthead all night.
Go to space.
Yeah!
Beavis and Butthead do the universe or something like that?
Yeah, it's do the cosmos or do the universe. I don't remember what it was. Do America. That movie holds up so well, too. Oh. Like, I watched it semi-recently, and I'm like, it's actually funnier now.
If you...
There's so many...
If you haven't seen the, newer, Star Trek stuff, it's actually really funny and pretty cool.
Wait, what? The newer Star Trek stuff is really funny?
Yeah,
which
Strange New Worlds is that is really cool, and there's a lot of clever one-liners in it. But the animated one,
Below Decks?
Lower Decks.
Lower Decks. All right, Below Deck is that show about stewards on cruise ships that are Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
By the way, love that show. Alexis was watching it a while ago.
That is one of the trashiest shows I've ever seen, but it is.
Oh yeah, it's on the list. I love garbage. I mean that's. I'm not saying that you should watch it for the same reason that you should watch I don't know, Chernobyl or something. Like, it's not the same, but I also just love the, whoever edits that, I have to say. Now, reality TV show editors are the most devious, and I'll get into a whole episode about it someday, but, like, I've dabbled in that, and, it's very dishonest, and I already knew that, but I learned that it's like, you know that reality TV is fake, right? It's way faker than that. That fake? No. Faker than that? What are you thinking? Oh no, it's way faker than that. Like, that's how fucking not. It's just a show. There's just not a script. There's just people running it how I run a music video, where I'm like, go over there. There's no storyboards. It's like, here, well, that looks cool. Stand in front of that neon sign. Yeah, there you go. Like, that's, they shoot it how I do things. But yeah, Below Decks, though, or no, wait, Lower Deck? Damn it, which one is the cruise ship?
Below Decks.
The yacht is Below Decks. Okay. So, whoever edits that not only makes it kind of disingenuous like you do with all reality TV, but also, they make the characters look as stupid as they like. So there's a guy, fucking Broham, thinks some chick is hot or whatever, but they don't do like a little Jersey Shore, like wah wah, like they just let it kind of sit. So the guy was like, "Yeah, man, when I saw her jumping in the water in a little bikini, I just can't help myself. I'm like a dog in heat, you know." And it's like, that's female dogs are in heat, you fucking moron. And they just like, it just said that. There's just like silence, and it showed him like jumping in the water after, and it just cuts back to him making this like stupid look for a second. But it's like, it doesn't look like it's done for comedy, but it's like if someone made that just for me. So like a dog, and he just so everyone that knows that that's not like a dude horny dog or whatever, like he thinks it is. Like, it's just, before we cut in any more lines of dialogue, I want you to just really ponder that for a moment. And you know what? It worked, because I'm thinking about it. I saw that like a year ago, and I'm thinking about it right now. He's just like, yeah, man. It was just with the confidence of someone who doesn't know anything.
Anytime someone says disingenuous, I think of the critic lawyer.
Oh,
Tad disingenuous.
Tad disingenuous. We could do a whole episode of Remembering the Critic, which maybe we should do.
Oh my god, I would love that.
Should we lean this? Should we try? No, we don't almost have to make a separate thing of like John and Bill remember things.
Oh my god, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah. Well,
although, I mean, we're already going to make... Maybe we need to just break it into segments rather than making whole... Because we're already going to do Bill's bus time stories.
Well, with how late the fucking buses go, like, I probably have to be spending Saturday night here.
I'm going to guess you'll have to crash out.
So, like, we could make that, like, a Sunday morning thing where we, like, remember shit.
Yeah. Or we just do two in a row, like one is this, and then once we're like pissed drunk, it's like, okay, now we're just gonna remember movies. Oh like God. Remember when
I love all of this.
Remember in Aliens when that guy when she's like, this little girl survived, like, maybe we should put her in charge, and we'll just talk about that for an hour. Or like Below Decks or Lower Decks. Which, yeah, I do need to watch Lower Decks. It does look like it might be kind of good. I like cartoons.
Oh my god, it's such a good like parody, but like paying tribute to Star Trek. I can't recommend it enough.
I really want to see that. But hey, this is just, I'll end on this, I guess, because we should stop. But I was watching, I'm a big fan of Archer, obviously. And I was watching some season when they kind of started getting into the seasons where they were like changing the whole, like, oh, in this one they're drug dealers, and in this one they're, whatever, it's like Archer Vice or whatever. And I was like, dude, they need to do one where it's like 60s Star Trek. Like, that's their thing somehow. But they did. The Archer 1999 was like they kind of did like Battlestar Galactica. They literally did my idea, but not the way I wanted it. They made a space Archer, but it was like a little too like slick actiony and not like 60s Captain Kirk, like stupid the way it should have been, just like, and I don't know why not. I mean, I get, it's supposed to be kind of like a spy send-up, so I sort of understand. But, like, literally just being like he's just drinking a martini in the chair. And fucking Lana Zohura, obviously, it's just like, shouldn't I be not just the person who calls people on the phone? And then they can smooch. And it won't make television history this time, but it sure did the first time. And that's America, where the first interracial kiss had to happen in outer space.
Star Trek also had the first gay kiss in the United States.
Was it the original series?
No, it was Deep Space Nine. And
oh, that's still
a lesbian kiss with Jadzia Dax and something Khan. Because like
Shaka?
No, not.
Oh,
all right.
Khan's Mongolian barbecue. I just say, why does it always has to be lesbians? Like, okay, look, we had George Takei on the original Star Trek, and by the way, he was shredded in that. Remember the one where they all went crazy and he was like sword fighting with no shirt on or whatever? Maybe he gets a little bit smoochy with the Russian guy. That'd be okay. I mean, that didn't happen. It was asking to happen. They were men on a ship, which, by the way, is how they weren't smooching all day long. I don't know. Like, it was supposed to be based off of like maritime and sailing and stuff. It's like maybe that's a thing. The first gay kiss, it was like implied in the original Star Trek. They're just like, well, duh. We don't have to show you. You know what's happening below deck or lower deck. All right. This episode is fucking stupid, and I think we're gonna go watch Star Trek.
The Reverend John Wheeler podcast takes zero responsibility for the words, actions, or ideas of its host, guests, or listeners. Though the people on the screen may at times be speaking directly to you, and may occasionally give you direct calls to action, neither Reverend John nor the Alchemical Cocktail Lounge are under any moral or legal obligation to answer for the potentially disastrous repercussions that may arise if you are stupid enough to actually follow the orders of a raving lunatic. Think for yourself and do whatever you want, because you're on your own. If anyone ever tries to sue this podcast, black SUVs will converge on your location in the darkness of night and you will never be seen again. Remember to like and subscribe.